Well, I would tell you that the adjustment back to the East Coast was much easier than my adjustment going west to California, that's for sure. It's an extraordinary state, and because of the significance of the California Master Plan for Higher Education and the role that Clark Kerr, a longtime friend of yours I know, the role that he played in designing the university in California, it has come to be known around the world for its higher education. And yet, I was in California during the period of the economic downturn in the 90s, and what you saw was significant devastation to its university. It certainly did not, and it is very interesting to me coming to North Carolina, a state that among the 50 stands out and has stood out for many, many years for its commitment to higher education. And it has sustained that commitment now for more than 2 centuries, through thick and through thin. And it makes a great difference when the people of a state are so deeply connected to their university. And the power of the economy of California is clearly connected to the quality of that university. Oh, absolutely. And that is a very, very significant characteristic of the University of North Carolina, which makes it quite different from California. And I believe the diversity that we enjoy from one campus to another, the School of Science and Math, the School for the Arts, the regional campuses, the engineering institutions, the agriculture, and the major research universities, that there is great strength in serving all of the needs of the state, needs that can change over time. And our quality, I believe, is in the great diversity that we enjoy within the University of North Carolina. Well, not only enthusiastic, but with great pride that they are a part of a great university, serving the needs of their region, meeting the needs of their students, achieving at levels of national distinction, but most important to them is that they are part of the University of North Carolina. Indeed, I think the important thing to note is that teaching, research, and service continue to be the great missions of the university. What will be different as we move into the new millennium is how we teach, what is the focus of our research, and what are the means by which we can best serve the interests of the community, of the economy, and of the citizens. All great universities in their teaching find a way to build an academic community where faculty and students have an opportunity for close interaction. We're moving into a world in which the pace of change and the knowledge explosion means that that experience, particularly at the baccalaureate level, is the time when you can learn how to think critically, how to reason analytically, but also how to work in teams, how to perform in diverse environments, and how to communicate effectively. And most importantly, to learn how to learn. So the tools are going to be very different, and clearly the role of information technology in its various forms will be an important part of enhancing the quality of teaching. But ultimately, it is that ability to learn that will sustain a human being over a lifetime, not just for their work life, but for the things that make us better human beings, that enrich our spirits. In the research arena, certainly the University of North Carolina, which has played such an important part, I think of the Research Triangle Park and how it has evolved because of the state's sustaining commitment to its university. And now the quality of our research places us in the 3rd rank order position in this country, behind California and Texas. $550 million a year in federal funds to support research within our university. But again, the nature of that research, and I am particularly enthusiastic about some new directions in biotechnology, in the science of the genome, and the integration of biology and information technology. We are poised in this state. And when you think about service, there are lots of social problems, lots of family problems in this state. How can our university utilize that knowledge to help solve real problems at a family and community level? And how do we build the bridges serving our corporate interests, the bridges between the university and business? And certainly the Centennial Campus at North Carolina State is a great example of how you link education, research, and service and work all at the same time. It's a very exciting era for the university. We have extraordinary potential because we have in the Triangle area 3 of the finest research universities anywhere in the world with programs in medicine and pharmacy and veterinary medicine and agriculture and engineering. We are maybe 5th or 6th in the country in terms of the significance of biotechnology in our state. It is the next generation of technology revolution. And it's interesting, in thinking about California, probably the #1 place in the country at this time is the Bay Area in California, enriched because of Berkeley and UC San Francisco and Stanford. If there is another place anywhere across this land that has the same quality and the same range of programs, it is right here in the Triangle area of North Carolina. What it will do is make possible both a higher quality definition of video as well as audio, but it will also make it possible for us to have multiple channels. And one of the important ways that I think this television station can assist the university is when there are multiple channels, making that capability available for teaching and learning for the citizens of our state, and to make new meaning for learning for a lifetime. It is a source of great joy. You have described that accurately. It is what, in part, is the root of this university. We have done teacher education for decades and decades, and we face in this country, and certainly in this state, a challenge of major proportion to enhance the academic performance of the children of this state. It is absolutely an imperative, and the university has a role to play in the preparation of teachers who not only have the skills for teaching, but who have a deep knowledge of their discipline and can share that knowledge with their students. We need to provide teachers who have utilized clinical experiences and other models of great teaching, and then we need to provide ongoing professional development. And we are working so closely with the superintendent of schools, with the community colleges, and of course with Governor Hunt, who has a deep and abiding commitment. It is an important opportunity for this university, and we are eager to step up and do our part. For the university itself, one of the studies that I have just completed and read is a futurist that suggests that in our working lives, every 7 years, we will need the equivalent of 30 credit hours of university-level education in order to maintain our currency. I mean, that is startling to me. As you know, 30 credit hours is a full year of college. And to think about what role the university, television, all of us can play in continuing the education in a world in which it will be a knowledge economy and where our strength will be in the skill of our workers, this becomes all the more important. And it is a wonderful time for the university to serve this state. It is going to be a great challenge for us, but I hope everyone, as they face the challenge, keeps in their mind the wonderful story of the first child in a family to complete a university education. And you know those stories of great joy at graduation when a family sees the first member of their family complete the university. Yes, we are facing the biggest growth in enrollment this state has ever approached. And it is going to require the work of all of us to find the space, to find the faculty, to find the means of providing that education. But as North Carolina has found out so many times before, where there's a will, there is always a way. And we don't yet, as you suggest, have a college-going rate that meets the national average. And your Progress Board report calls for us to accelerate college-going rates within the state of North Carolina. And that means a significant part of the responsibility is on the university, on the community colleges as well, but also on the university. It is the healthiest linkage of schools, community colleges, and universities I have ever seen anywhere. There is a great attitude and a great spirit of cooperation, and I think we're already demonstrating that we can each be better by working together. It is a critical part not only of the education of students, but for the life of the entire faculty and the entire academic community. It is the arts and the humanities that give us the great spirit, that help us to understand the human condition and to make us all better as human beings. This first year has been such an exciting year and such a busy year, and we both have so enjoyed our education about North Carolina. Well, it requires us to have a clear focus about what things we must accomplish. Higher education, as you know, faces many opportunities and many challenges. Change in the world is altering the way we do business, but we must keep a clear focus. We want to continue and strengthen our partnership with the schools. That will be a very important priority for us in the years ahead. We are redoubling our efforts to reach out all across North Carolina, where we don't have campuses, to serve the citizens of that part of the state who can't leave their jobs or their families and come to one of our campuses. So a significant effort will be in our outreach, and we are so grateful that the General Assembly this year, for the first time, provided the university funding so that we could serve those students matriculated in degree programs in exactly the same way they support students on our campuses. They communicate the change in the areas of focus. And so you hear not just from the technology-intensive companies, but from the banking industry, that they need more employees with information technology skills so that they can perform their duties. But we also hear from the leaders of corporations about the importance of the liberal arts and having a deep understanding of analytical reasoning and writing and communication. So we hear from the corporate leadership, and I must say I'm very impressed with the commitment of the corporate leadership in this state to their civic responsibility as strong citizens of North Carolina to make this a better place tomorrow than it was yesterday. What makes for a strong university is that freedom of the faculty members to think new thoughts and to behave in new ways and to be unfettered in the boundaries that they try to pursue and go beyond. I see them all the time, whether it is the student leaders who come by on a regular basis and we meet and talk about the issues and the priorities from their point of view, or I encounter them going across the campus and as you know, they recognize you and are very easy to strike up a conversation with you, or I see them at church where sometimes I find them so very inspiring as young adults. It's what made you and me choose universities as our life's work, because it gives us this chance to work with young people when they are still in the process of becoming. It is fierce competition, but the University of North Carolina enjoys such a strong national reputation as a place where you can build a career and where you can remain for your entire career. You know, some of what's going on these days in higher education is that faculty members move from campus to campus to campus. And I don't believe universities will become strong if there isn't an ongoing core of faculty who've made their life's commitment to remaining and building that university. We enjoy that kind of strength at the University of North Carolina, and I believe it puts us in a strong position to compete nationally. We're a very attractive university to young doctoral students who are just completing their program, but we're also an attractive university for those in the middle parts of their life where they're thinking about where they want to invest the rest of their career. It's the impressive performance of the South, economically and in terms of the political leadership at the national level, is really quite a turnaround in our lifetimes. This state presents wonderful opportunities for me to learn about new aspects of the university, and so I expect that I will continue to travel to the campuses of this state and to meet members of the community, the civic life as well as the economic life. And I will also do my share at the national level for helping in areas where I think the University of North Carolina has something important to contribute.